welcome to my...
She's the most watched female drummer on YouTube, with over 70 million views on a single video. Her timing? Flawless. Her groove? Unmatched. But there's something Sina Drums isn't telling you. Because while her covers rack up millions of views, the money, it barely trickles in. Behind the perfect beats and viral fame lies a story most fans have never heard. One that reveals the hidden truth about being a creator in the digital age and the struggle of turning talent into a paycheck. So what really happened to Sina Drums? How did she build a global empire in silence? And what price did she pay to keep it alive? Before she was known as Sina Drums, she was just a quiet teenager uploading drum covers from a small town in Germany. No flashy stage, no big label, just a girl and a drum kit in her father's studio. But then it happened. A cover of Dire Straits' Sultans of Swing catapulted her into the spotlight. She wasn't trying to go viral, but the internet had other plans. Her precise timing, effortless groove, and cool, unbothered expression turned heads across the globe. That one performance would go on to become the most viewed drum cover on YouTube. And yet, despite this explosion of fame, Sina remained somewhat of a mystery. No public scandals. No attention-seeking behavior, just consistent, high-level musicianship. In a world that rewards loud personalities, she rose by letting her talent do the talking. Long before her hands ever touched a drumstick, music was already coursing through her veins. Sina Doring was born on May 6, 1999 in Marburg, Germany, into a household where rhythm and melody were part of everyday life. Her mother, a passionate amateur singer and piano player, filled the home with song. But it was her father, a seasoned touring and studio musician, who shaped her path in ways no one could have predicted. Just a month before Sina was born, he joined the Silver Beatles Germany, a tribute band that would come to define the family's early years. Instead of daycare and cartoons, Sina grew up backstage, attending gigs, sitting in rehearsal rooms, and traveling from venue to venue. By the age of 2, she was already on tour buses, soaking in the energy of live shows and watching her father bring audiences to life. Those early memories weren't just family moments, they were training ground for what would become a career built on sound, precision, and discipline. And while most kids were learning their ABCs, Sina was counting beats. By the age of 6, Sina wasn't just listening to music, she was part of it. Her father had begun producing educational songs to help children learn English, and Sina jumped in without hesitation. She modeled, acted, and sang, all before most kids ever picked up an instrument. At 10, she was recording background vocals for nursery rhymes set to rock and pop arrangements. The studio became her second home, and performance wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. She wasn't being pushed, she was being prepared. Then, in 2010, everything changed. Her father bought a drum set for studio recordings. It was meant for session musicians. But Sina, curious and fearless, sat down behind the kit, and something clicked. Although her dad could play a dozen instruments, he wasn't a drummer. So Sina took the challenge upon herself. No formal training, just raw curiosity and hours of practice. Within a year, she was recording real tracks in a professional studio. And not long after, she landed her first commercial release as a drummer. What began as child's play had turned into something serious, something rare. For most teenagers, a 6-month obsession with a complex progressive rock song would seem excessive. But for Sina, it was the beginning of something huge. She had spent months mastering Dream Theater's Metropolis, Part 1, during her drum lessons. But without a band to showcase her skills, her father made a simple suggestion. Let's film it and put it on YouTube. That one suggestion, made on a whim, changed everything. In 2013, Sina uploaded the performance. It didn't explode overnight. There were no fireworks, no viral frenzy. But slowly, organically, people started watching. Musicians noticed the technical precision. Casual listeners felt the rhythm. And Sina? She just kept uploading. Video by video, she built a loyal following. Her channel wasn't powered by gimmicks or clickbait. It was powered by consistency, skill, and quiet charisma. No over-the-top editing. No flashy intros. Just world-class drumming raw and unfiltered. What started as a single upload soon became a platform, and that platform became a career. In 2016, at just 17 years old, Sina uploaded a drum cover that would change everything. It wasn't a trendy pop hit or a metal breakdown. It was Dire Straits' Sultans of Swing, a classic rock staple. But Sina wasn't just playing along. She was reinterpreting it. With no original drums in the track, she had complete freedom to build her own groove. And she delivered a performance that was both technically sharp and emotionally magnetic. She played over a drumless backing track, laying down beats with uncanny precision and feel. Her performance didn't scream for attention, it commanded it. The internet took notice. That single video skyrocketed and eventually became the most watched drum cover on YouTube, crossing 70 million views. But behind the success was something deeper. This wasn't just a fluke viral moment. It was the result of years of preparation, discipline, and a refusal to chase trends. Sina didn't need to follow the algorithm. She beat it with rhythm. Viral covers made her a household name on YouTube, but Sina had bigger plans. She didn't want to be known just as the girl who could mimic rock legends. She wanted to create. Her first major step into original music came when she collaborated with singer-songwriter Brioni Williams. Sina recorded drums for several of Brioni's songs, showcasing not just her precision, but her versatility, the ability to adapt her drumming to fit the emotional tone of brand new compositions. But Sina didn't stop there. In 2015, she launched the Chi Mic Project, a daring idea to bring together musicians from across the globe to create original music remotely. The result? A full-length album, Chi Mic 1, released in 2016. It was an ambitious, genre-blending project that proved Sina wasn't just a performer. She was a visionary. For the first time, fans weren't just watching her interpret classics. They were hearing her voice through the beat she built from scratch. After proving she could hold her own in original music, Sina doubled down. This time, she teamed up with two familiar names, her father and fellow musician Rick Benbow, to launch a new venture, Your Sound Tube. Unlike typical YouTube covers, this project focused on re-recording every instrument from scratch. No backing tracks, no shortcuts, just pure musicianship. The idea was simple but powerful: recreate beloved classics with a completely fresh sound, all produced in-house. The project led to the release of the Your Songbook album in 2017, featuring some of their most polished and collaborative arrangements yet. At the same time, Sina stepped out from the studio and onto real stages. She joined the original band The Gas, performing live gigs across Germany. These shows were crucial. They gave her the kind of visceral, in-the-moment feedback no comment section could offer. It was a new side of Sina, the quiet YouTube star now facing roaring crowds. She wasn't just growing her channel, she was growing as an artist, fast. While many creators stay inside their digital bubble, Sina took a different route. She went back to school. Not the typical kind, but a one-year intensive program at the Drummers Institute in Krefeld, Germany, a renowned training ground for serious percussionists. It was a bold move. At this point, she already had a massive online following. She didn't need a diploma, but Sina wasn't chasing fame. She was chasing mastery. While studying, she didn't pause her creative output. She continued writing, recording, and producing music, including the release of Chi Mic 2, the sequel to her groundbreaking collaborative album. And just when the world was preparing for a post-pandemic recovery, Sina struck again with Chi Mic 3 in 2020, a project born during lockdown, created entirely through remote collaborations with artists from around the globe. Each album was a step further away from being just a YouTube drummer and closer to being a full-fledged music producer, artistic director, and collaborator. Her journey wasn't just upward, it was outward, expanding in every direction. With millions of views and over 1.6 million subscribers, you'd think Sina Drums was raking in piles of cash from YouTube. But here's the shocking truth. She barely earns a dime from her most popular videos. Why? One word: copyright. Sina's most watched content, her drum covers, often features copyrighted songs. And under YouTube's rules, That means ad revenue goes straight to the original copyright holders, not the content creator. She learned this the hard way. One of her early covers, School by Supertramp, earned her a copyright strike. It wasn't just a slap on the wrist. It was a wake-up call. Even though she wasn't using the original audio, the composition rights still applied. The system was built to protect publishers, not creators. And so, despite tens of millions of views, the majority of Sina's drum covers earned zero ad revenue. To the outside world, she looked like a YouTube success story. But behind the scenes, the numbers told a different story. One of viral fame without financial reward.